Hello, Jason from Memo here. I'm going to talk to you today about some of the recent updates that have come out. Memo now supports multiple keys linked to a single identity. There's a lot to talk about, but today I'm just going to go over a specific example. First thing I need is to sign up for a new account. So I'm going to do that now. Now I need to fund this account. So I will grab the address and send funds. Okay. Address is now funded. I'm going to set the name. I recorded this earlier, but the audio wasn't very good. So hopefully it's better this time. All right, so we now have an account that's funded with a name. This is all normal and how Memo has always worked. Now, if we go to memocache.github.io, this is the new documentation for a number of updates that have come out. Today I'm specifically going to talk about the comments example. So if you click examples on the left and then go to comments and click example comments, this takes you to what is a basic web page. This could be like a blog or some other page that you might have comments on. This is meant to go on any type of website. So in the top right, you can see part of an address, and if you click on it, user info modal will show up. Currently, this gives you the address, and if you want to see, you can show the mnemonic phrase that is used to generate that address that you can back up. There aren't currently any Satoshis yet, and it hasn't been linked to an API token. But we're not going to go too much into that. This address is all generated in your browser, so it's completely outside of Memo, and you can look at the source code of this on GitHub to see how that works. I'm going to reset here. Okay, so we now have a new address to use with new mnemonic phrase. You don't have to do that. I just did to clear out the one that was used in the video. So if we click connect, it takes us back to Memo with this special redirect that tells us where we came from and the address we're trying to connect. These default values should work. So we connect, sends us back to the comments example, and it connects the two addresses. They are now connected. You can now see that this has an ID address as well as the regular address. And if we go back to here, we can see the ID address matches the legacy address. And if you go to linked keys, you can see there's now a link between these two keys. All right. Now we'll do a test comment. So I close the modal and test from movie 2. Hopefully the audio better now. Okay, test shows up. You can see it's user movie 2, which matches this user that we're connected with. And then right next to us, to the username, there's parentheses, and this is the address that was used. So those parentheses match the first few characters of this address. And then if we go to the profile here, you can see that that same address is shown next to the name, and the main address is shown next to the actions that were performed by that address. So addresses aren't the best way to look at it. So there's an alias feature. So if you go back to the example, go back to user info, and you click set alias down here, we can put comments example as the alias. Set takes a second. So now the alias is set. This is on the blockchain. And now you can see that all the activity done by that address now has been updated to use the alias. So you can see exactly which activity is performed and not have to use an address. And that shows up on this page as well. So if we go back to the account and we click aliases down here, you can see the aliases for the two different addresses that are linked show up. So we can set an alias for this other one. So we can maybe call this Memo main. And so now you can see both the addresses with their aliases are there. And if we go back to the profile, you can now see that depending on which key was used, the different alias is listed next to the main name. And if we did a post, test post from movie, you can see this uses the memo main key as opposed to the comments example key, which was used here. So that covers this example. Hopefully you were able to understand this a little better and can try this out yourself. Thanks.